Good Thursday, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith on this chilly Thursday, the last Thursday before Christmas. We're 7 days away from Christmas 2014, and this is Thursday, the 18th of December. Morning observations show a chilly air mass in place. We have northwesterly winds, and those winds are beginning to freshen at better than 10, 15 with gusts up to 25. That makes some of the wind chills this morning into the upper 20s and low 30s across the region. And we have mostly cloudy skies to the north and west here, and clear skies to the central portions and southern portions of the forecast region this morning. Obviously, we have spokes of energy still riding through the lower Hudson Valley into Long Island Sound this morning. They're reporting a few flurries on the ground, but or in the air actually, but nothing really accumulating on the ground. And we still have spokes of energy around upper level low off the northeast Atlantic coastal states, the New England coastal states this morning. And as a result of that, and high pressure well to our west, we have strong west to northwest winds, and that's going to continue throughout most of today. Watches, warnings, and advisories for the forecast area, interior Connecticut and the southern areas of Rhode Island here and Massachusetts. We do have a few moving snow showers moving through the area this morning, making for some slick driving conditions. So if you're in this area from Hartford up to Worcester, Mass, probably going to experience just a little bit of coating on the ground this morning. Meanwhile, for everybody else, we have small craft advisories in effect for the coastal waters, the Long Island Sound and the New Jersey coastal waters down into the bays here of the Delaware as well. And these small craft advisories are for northwest winds at 15 to 25 knots with occasional gust up to 30 knots through the afternoon. Wind should diminish slightly later this afternoon, however, gusts near or over 20 knots possible through the overnight hours. Mostly sub-advisory conditions on Friday. Some northwesterly wind gusting to better than 20 knots in the morning. And on Saturday and Sunday, sub-small craft advisories expected. The seas do remain around 3 to 4 feet. On Monday, small craft advisories conditions probably by themselves introduced again later on Monday under a strengthening easterly flow and building seas. For the aviational weather deck this morning, we basically have VFR conditions through the period. Much like yesterday, could see some clouds already lowering and thickening across the region under an inversion at around 3,000 to 5,000 feet throughout the day, especially over Reading, Allentown, and northwestern New Jersey showing up right now. Breezy northwesterly winds continuing through at least this afternoon before tapering off this evening. The outlook for Friday and Saturday VFR, northwest winds veer towards more to the north-northeast by Saturday, and by Sunday and Monday, sub-VFR possible with scattered rain and snow showers. Right now, outside of Newark, New Jersey, we have 38 degrees, dew point 22, humidity 52%. The wind is northwest at 9, gust up to 20, makes the wind chill feel absolutely at freezing at 32. Overcast skies at 4,400. There's our temperature inversion there with our stratocumulus clouds coming into the area. This afternoon, VFR conditions with gusty west to northwest winds diminishing late this afternoon with scattered to broken cloud cover across the region and VFR in place. Right now at Philadelphia International, 35, dew point 18, humidity 49%. The wind is west at 10, makes the wind chill feel like 27. Again, scattered clouds at about 4,200 feet. Gusty west to northwest winds at the terminals this afternoon with scattered to broken clouds, and those winds will be diminishing with a partly cloudy sky overnight. Morning passes satellite imagery this morning shows clear skies throughout most of the region, but skies do become a little bit cloudy as we head to northwestern New Jersey, the Poconos, the Hudson River Valley area, where we have downsloping winds off the mountains here, and basically dry air mass in place, but still spokes of energy around to the north and east, spinning around the backside of this upper level low and surface wave across the region, providing bits of cloud cover and a few sprinkles to the north and west, but dry air mass in place, and from central and southern New Jersey down to the Delmarva, generally dry conditions in place for today. If we look at the radar mosaic up close, we can see, well, here's our storm system that is warm air advection moving in towards the central plains, and eventually some of this will get captured over the weekend, but most of it staying to our south and east with an inverted trough. We'll talk about that in a moment. Here's our snow showers spoking around or circling around our upper level low here, getting into interior Connecticut and Long Island and Massachusetts, and then dying out as we go through the morning. Morning surface map from weatherroanoke.com and digital atmosphere software shows high pressure building in across the west, here across the Midwest, and also into the Ohio River Valley. Here's our storm system with spokes of energy off the coast of southern New England, northern New England actually, and this is providing us with a pretty tight pressure gradient. It's going to begin to relax later this afternoon. NAM WRF forecast, cloud and precipitation reflectivity forecast from Penn State's eWall site shows mixed clouds and sunshine under that temperature inversion, also a northwest flow. Snow showers breaking out to the west and north of us as spokes of energy still wrap around that upper level low off of the southern New England coast and western western Atlantic Canada here. Most of this will be drying up as it reaches the ground, or as such, the clouds will begin to break up too with the subsidence inversion. The winds will back around to the north and northeast with chilly air mass in place through the forecast period right through Saturday, and the winds will begin to back around to the east eventually by Saturday afternoon as we begin with warm air advective pattern, and then we have more precipitation on the way for Saturday night and Sunday. GFS maps into motion. Here's our upper level low over Nova Scotia, and this will be departing, and the winds will begin to relax and skies will begin to clear out somewhat as high pressure continues to build into the forecast region tonight, tomorrow, and again on Saturday. Our first disturbance here that we thought was going to be somewhat of a storm system for Saturday afternoon and night rather into Sunday is minoring out because of an active stream of disturbances moving through the Pacific flow into the western United States and into the Intermountain West. So this really minors it out by the time these disturbances reach the East Coast with as a result of the fast Atlantic Pacific pattern that we have in place right now. High pressure builds in again, and we have another disturbance in the subtropical jet stream, one that bears watching as this disturbance moves into the region. This one could be a little bit more potent as we reach Monday night and Tuesday morning, breaking out mainly with a rain event here. It could be raining across the region on Monday night and Tuesday. Pockets of moderate to heavy rain possible right along the immediate coast. That moves offshore, and then we get a deep low pressure center developing towards and moving towards the Great Lakes, and could be this entering into an area of a block here in Canada. We showed on the water vapor imagery yesterday. We'll show that again today. And as a result of that, it develops a surface wave here along the mid-Atlantic coast states, and that would be for Christmas Eve day and Christmas Eve night, and that would produce moderate to heavy precipitation across the forecast region with very windy conditions and unseasonably warm conditions for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Then on the backside of that, on Christmas Day itself, well, everything begins to cool down as the low begins to occlude over the St. Lawrence River Valley and winds become westerly, very strong westerly winds. We could have precipitation changing to snow across the northern tier here on Thursday morning, which would be Christmas Day, and then basically just blustery conditions, westerly winds, not necessarily that cold for Christmas Day and Christmas night, but definitely very strong winds across the region with changeable skies as the low is really blocked up here in southeastern Canada, and a very strong tight pressure gradient continues over the forecast region. With that being said, here comes another cold front across the region with rain showers along it as the area moves off the coast by Friday night and early Saturday afternoon as well. Here's a look at our large scale water vapor imagery this morning with our deep upper level low forming across the Canadian Maritimes here, high pressure across Hudson's Bay, Canada. Strong blocking still continues to develop in the northern Atlantic, especially towards Greenland here. And here's our very active subtropical jet stream. One storm after another entering the west coast with multiple disturbances here, not allowing anything to really phase or deepen too much as we have a very active polar and subtropical flow across the region. So what really gives here? Why are we still in a warm pattern with no snow on the ground over the eastern United States? I'll explain in just a moment. We're starting to see the evolution of the pattern unfolding over the next 10 days. This is also the 500 millibar height anomalies from the European and from the GFS from last night. Shows our positive PNA in place, troughing along the west coast as we still have a flow here that's going to be from west to east, a split flow pattern developing, but we can monitor the evolution of the blocking now getting up towards the poles, which will probably eventually displace the polar vortex further south, and as a result of that, showing up on the model guidance for the GFS as well, a broad-based trough with lower heights here across the west and central United States into the northeast. We have a complicated forecast going forward because Arctic air masses will continue to build into this region, and eventually once the mother load does come down later this month or possibly the very beginning of January, that's when things are going to get quite interesting right along the East Coast with a very highly hyper subtropical jet stream and a very active polar jet stream as well, leading to storm formation. And that's when we'll have to start looking for winter storms. So the pattern is changing. It's slow, it's progressive, but it is changing indeed. It's taking a little bit longer than one would expect, but winter is not over. So while the forecast is busy on the chilly side and windy side over the next couple of days, and definitely seasonally cold for this time of the year as it should be, you'll be able to get outside, finish out those decorations and shopping for the holiday season. Happy Hanukkah and happy holidays to all of our subscribers. And of course, everything is live on Garden State Weather, gardenstateweather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. You make it a great day. We'll be back in video form with the weekend details and your forecast for Christmas during tomorrow morning.